Okay, not only did I read 3 books yesterday, which we need to talk about today, but it's the last day of school, and also I am going to a house after school that is owned by my friend Tammy, and she has 185 Christmas trees. I'm not kidding. And I don't mean pictures of Christmas trees. I mean 185 Christmas trees in her normal size house. That's how it's done. All right, what do we got?
I don't know how to say this.
Tristan Strong destroys the world. Okay, we'll see if that's any good. What is that one? Amari.
That's illegal.
If you want, you get the inside, you get all the M&Ms.
What shit?
Yeah, we're gonna do this first.
What am I gonna put?
Here. What time is it?
School is over and I'm off to a house with 185 Christmas trees. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed the tour of my friend's house. 185 Christmas trees is a lot. She is seriously one of my favorite people ever though, and I definitely want to like write a children's book about her house and about her as a person and about her grandkids, but obviously fictionalize it. So maybe one day I will. But anyway, yeah, she's just one of my favorite people. Anyway, I want to show you what I read yesterday because I read 3 books. One of them I already talked about yesterday. The next one I will talk about right now, and that is 24/6. Now, this book basically could have been an essay, but it was actually really well done. So the author is Tiffany Shlain. She basically decided that technology was just too much, and so she was going to take basically a Sabbath from technology one day a week. So with that being said, she would have, I think it's called Shabbat. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but she would have like a Friday night meal with her family, and then technology would be gone from that point until like Saturday night. And so, yeah, you can just like write an essay about that. But this book was actually really well done, and I really enjoyed like all the length. And all the details that she put into it. You really got to follow her family around as she did this. She put in lots of research and different things like that. And I just felt like it was super like well done and all that sort of stuff, because you wouldn't think that you would need a book on such a topic. But it's definitely something I'm going to start doing. So yeah. So the other book was Ann Patchett's These Precious Days. This one was listed as one of Obama's top books of the year. I got it from the first edition book club, so Anne wrote a letter in it and she signed it. But I've also met her and pet her dog. And so because I hung out with her dog and I also hung out with her, it doesn't even matter if it's signed. Like, I can still put it on my signed bookshelf since I had a connection to the author. And I actually ended up writing her a letter after reading this book because I loved it so freaking much. So I will say I did not put it on my top books of the year, but I definitely think you should read it. And I think it would be even better in Audible because she reads it herself. And I just love her voice. She reminds me of one of my aunts in, well, mainly her mannerisms and the way she speaks, not her politics. Anyway, this is just a book of essays, and the beginning one was really, really nice. It talked about how she basically has 3 fathers because there's like the dad that is her biological father. Then her mom got divorced and got remarried to this other guy who is basically the stepdad that she grew up with for most of her life. And then when she was like in her 20s, I think, her mom ended up remarrying somebody else. So like, he is not really her dad in the point of view where like she never grew up with him or whatever. It's kind of just her mom's husband. But like, his role in her life was super important as well. And she just talks about each of her dads and the way they viewed her, the way she viewed them, and how they impacted her life. It was absolutely beautiful and so powerful, especially since her biological dad, like her real dad, I shouldn't say biological because that seems like there's some distance between her and him, and that wasn't really true. Like, obviously he lived far away. He lived in California and she lived in Nashville, Tennessee-ish land, but she called him once a month and stuff, so it's not like whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that it was super cool because that guy, her real dad, if you can call him that, he ended up having something very similar to Parkinson's. And my dad has what we are calling Parkinson's right now. However, there are some questions like, is this for real Parkinson's or is it some other variation of it? And so we're actually researching the version that Ann Patchett's dad had to see if that would correspond to what my dad had or not. But anyway, that was a beautiful, beautiful essay. There was another essay where basically she meets Tom Hanks and becomes friendly-ish with him, but she's really friends with like his assistant, and his assistant ends up being diagnosed with cancer, and she decides to do this experimental treatment that is actually in Nashville. And so she ends up staying at Ann's house and kind of getting stuck there in a way because the pandemic starts while she's undergoing treatment. And obviously, like, her white blood count is so low, she shouldn't even be going out into public, let alone like going home. I think she was from California as well. And so it's just such a beautiful thing. Like, Anne often writes about people that are just kind of thrown together. And I felt like that was a real life example of people just being kind of thrown together and put in a situation where they were allowed to become very close because of the circumstances and all that sort of stuff. It was just amazing. Also in that essay, Anne does something I would never think that she would do, and it is hilarious. so funny. My students watch these videos now. I'm not saying what she did, but it was hilarious. Like, Anne is so just like prim and proper and Catholic schoolgirl, and yeah, hilarious. You have to read it. Yeah, so basically I adored this book so much that I wrote her a letter. I forgot to put in the letter about me thinking it was hilarious about the one story that I was just telling you. Anyway, so yeah, those are the 2 of the 3 books that I read yesterday, because the other one I already talked about yesterday. And I've just had a great day at work. I went to my friend's house to see her 185 Christmas trees. And now I'm just going to have a dance party because I feel like I have way too much energy and like blah, spazzy nature in me right now. So I'm going to dance. I have on my coffee table, I just need to organize like the books that I want to read over break, or at least like the books that I have set out as like more of priorities so that they don't look a hot mess. Maybe do some bullet journal stuff. I don't really know. I don't really have plans tonight. I just need to like slow my roll. So anyway, I will check in with you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have an amazing evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Bye.